Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly comic book review. That's right, everybody. This is the weekly comic book review. It's the show where I read a lot of comic books and I let you know what I thought about them, and we always start with the pick of the week. And yes, before we get into that, let me address something. We're doing it live today. We're doing it live. Occasionally, I have to do this. I got caught up in a bunch of bullshit yesterday. However, we're here today, fresh and rosy, ready to deliver the weekly comic book review. And we always start with the pick of the week, and this week's pick of the week, Absolute Batman, issue number 11. Why? Because these go to 11. Absolute Batman's been rocking my world for the last few issues. I've loved it, right? Like when this book first came out, Scott Snyder, Nick Dragotta, I love those dudes. I think Nick Dragotta's artwork is absolutely amazing. Now, we don't have Nick here on the artwork. We actually have Clay Mann, but Clay Mann is actually doing a little bit of a different style. First of all, he likes to draw butts, so that's pretty freaking cool. But no, Clay Mann is adapting a little bit of a different style, more akin to what Nick Dragotta is doing layout-wise, which is very much influenced by Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, but the artwork absolutely works. No pun intended. That being said, this Absolute Bane arc, to me, has been levels above anything else that's happened in Absolute Batman. This book has soared on Bane. I will say that, right? This book has absolutely soared on Bane. That being said, this is, even though there's a different artist on this issue, it's structurally, through the narrative, significant. And it doesn't come out of nowhere, right? So this issue is mostly the origin, if you will, of Absolute Bane, which is freaking cool. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. Bane is one of those characters. I've talked about this before on live streams, on weekly comic book reviews, on other shows, but like, I was there when Batman Vengeance of Bane released, right? Like, I felt like I was on the ground floor for a new, ultra, uber significant Batman villain named Bane. And I've always had an affection for the character since. And the most important thing to me about Bane is that he is a physical, spiritual, and mental threat to Bruce. And that is completely delivered here in Absolute Batman. I loved this issue. It might be I think this might be Clay Mann's best comic he's ever done. And I like Clay Mann, but there's just something about it. And there's some really interesting approaches to Bane and to the character of Batman. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, it's silly, but at the same time, I am here for it. So Absolute Batman, once again, gets the pick of the week. And granted, I'm a huge mark for Bane. I am. I'm a fucking mark. I'm a huge mark for Bane, but man, this book frickin' rocks. We got some other good comics this week, including Absolute Flash here with issue number 6. This might be the best issue of Absolute Flash. This issue was awesome. It was really good. We got Nick Robles on the artwork. Of course, Jeff Lemire writing it. But this is more of the secret origin of the Rogues. That's what's going on here. What does Wally's dad have to do with the Rogues? What do the Rogues care about Wally or Wally's dad, right? It all gets explained here, and this is one of the most dense. Now, it's still a quick read, but it's one of the most dense issues of Absolute Flash yet, and this one really starts pulling me in thoroughly. I really enjoyed the first few issues of Absolute Flash, even though they were quick reads, but it did start kind of waning. My interest started waning on it, but Absolute Flash with issue number 6, this is a great issue. What's crazy is issue number 5, it was terrible. It was terrible, but issue number 6 is one of the best comics of this week. So there you go. Absolute Flash, pretty freaking good this week. Then we got Justice League Red What is this? This is a new Justice League miniseries. It is written by Saladin Ahmed, Clayton Henry on the art. It's Justice League Red. So what is it? It's a Justice League Wetworks team in a way that's put together by Red Tornado. So that's why it's called Red. And there we can see what characters are going to be involved in this book. Power Girl, Simon Baz, both of them are in this issue. But we also know we got Red Canary, Cyborg, and Deadman. They do not appear in this issue. And I actually kind of appreciate that. I really do. I actually like that this book is taking its time to build the concept of the book, right? So Red Tornado, obviously highlighted in this issue, so is Power Girl, so is Simon Baz, but the rest of the characters, we don't see them yet, but it's okay. We know that they're coming, and they're actually taking the time to build this concept, to build this theory. So Red Tornado is plugged in to the AI algorithm, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and he's understanding that there are threats that the Justice League just can't combat, because maybe they're not ready for it, or maybe they just don't know that it's on the horizon. So Red Tornado kind of puts together his own Wetworks Black Ops type team. And Power Girl and Simon Baz are two really solid characters that DC's not doing too much with. So they're doing something with them in this book. And I liked the issue. I thought it was solid. I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty decent. All right, then we got Detective Comics 1100. Why? Because these go to 1100. Anyway, this is 1100. I guess that's the milestone issue of Detective Comics, right? So what do we get when we get milestone issues? We get anthology books, right? We get the main creators coming in to do a story, and then a bunch of other creators coming in to tell their little short story Batman tales, right? And that's what's going on here in Detective Comics. But you know what? This book absolutely slaps. It's actually pretty freaking good. Tom Taylor, Mikhail Hanin are back on a story of Bruce trying to help a kid find his lost dog. And it soared. It was nice having Mikhail back on the artwork. The artwork is super freaking solid. I loved it. Then you got other stories in here. First of all, how about Batman doing the Akira slide right there? Look at that. Talk about the importance of Akira in pop culture. My bad. Akira in pop culture. So who wrote that story? Let's see if I can... I know that... Did G. Willow Wilson write one of these stories? But who wrote this second story? So this is... No, G. Willow Wilson didn't. It was Mariko Tamaki and Arif Prianto on the colors. The artist is Amanke In. I can't pronounce that last name. But that story was all right. Then you got another story that's by Greg Rucka and Alvaro Martinez Bueno. And that story was really cool. I mean, I love Greg Rucka. I guess Greg Rucka's back at DC right now because he has that Cheetah and what is it? Cheetah and who? Cheshire Rob the Justice League book, which is an odd book. I don't get it. But then we got The Fall. The Fall is a story by Dan Waters and Bill Sienkiewicz, and it is worth the price of admission alone. Super freaking solid artwork, a super freaking solid story. Dan Waters needs to be an ongoing writer in the Batman world. He's killing it with Dark Patterns. He's killing it with this. He just keeps doing freaking great work. So Detective Comics was actually really solid, and this has been one of the better Batman books in the mainstream DC continuity for like the last year or something like that. So that's pretty freaking cool. Then we got Batman and Robin Year 1, issue number 10. Y'all, what can I say about this book that I've not already said? Nothing. So let me just tell you... 62, I'm sorry, we're not starting over. Let me just tell you, I try not to get distracted when I do the weekly comic book review live. I try not to get distracted by the chat, but maybe at the end we'll go through the chat. Batman and Robin Year 1 has been amazing. Mark Waid has been killing it with this book. It's perennial. It's going to be a classic. It's working. It's something that you can read over and over again, something that can be on your shelf, something that comic book retailers can sell consistently. This book freaking slaps. It's awesome. It's really good. And then you got Chris Samney on the artwork. And that's one of the main reasons why this book is so freaking good. Mateus Lopez on the coloring. It's so freaking good. It's basically Batman year 3-ish, right? Where Robin and Batman are first forming their partnership. But you got Clayface, you got Two-Face, you got the mafia of Gotham kind of all tied in. And you've got, excuse me for hitting the mic, you got amazing, brilliant artwork all the way through that has really cemented this story as quite exceptional. So I loved that book. Then we got New Gods, issue number 9. Another fantastic issue of the New Gods from Rom V. Now, we do got some Evan Cagle on this book, but most of the issue is done by a guest artist. And I think they do the credits at the end, and that is Pi Par. Yeah, Pi Par does most of the art and the coloring, and it works. It really does. Like, we had Rom V on the channel right before the series got launched, right? And Rom's a homie. He's a friend, one could say, and that's fine. And I love Rom. But he even said, because I was really excited for Rom to take on basically a Jack Kirby invention, and he was more than excited to tell me that he's honoring Kirby, but he's doing his own thing. And that is evident, prevalent, if you will, here in New Gods issue number 9. I did not mind the switch of artists. I am loving how deep this story is going into the lore, into the mythology of New Gods, and at the same time, doing something completely new and different that we haven't seen before. New Gods issue number 9 absolutely rocks. Then we've got Nightwing issue 129, wrapping up this whole fifth dimensional imp Dan Waters story. We got Dexter Soy on the artwork here? Yeah, Dexter Soy is on the artwork. This is a weird story because it's kind of comparing Nightwing to a bowl of ramen. And I don't feel like that should actually work, but it actually freaking does work. We got lots of craziness going on in this book. Now, I have told y'all before, and I will reiterate this point, that Dan Waters is such a talent in this industry, and I didn't think that Nightwing was quite the book for him. A street-level, agile, superhero vigilante. But Dan Waters is owning it. He's really embracing the structure and he's really embracing what Nightwing should be as a comic book, and at the same time, bringing in that Dan Waters brand of strangeness and weirdness. And I'm loving it. We get the introduction, or the continual introduction, I should say, of a newish character. We could call him a legacy character, but Nightwing has been pretty freaking good. Let's talk about Krypto, Last Dog of Krypton, issue number 3. Mike Norton, Ryan North. This issue's great. It might be the best issue of Krypto yet. I loved the first issue. I loved the second issue, but the third issue absolutely rocks. This is an origin story of sorts, I guess, if you want to call it that, for Krypto. How he winds up on Earth, how he winds up in Superman's arms, and what happens before that. This is mostly about what happens before Krypto becomes the Krypto that we know and love. In this one, there's a young woman who is lost out there in the wilderness, I guess, and Krypto comes to save her. It absolutely rocks. It's amazing. Look at that cover by Jay Lee, and guess what? I'm giving it the cover of the week. Jay Lee is killing it with these covers on Krypto, Last Dog of Krypton. All right, then we got Superman Unlimited, issue number 4. A pretty freaking solid issue of Superman Unlimited. Dan Slott on Superman. Yeah, I rolled my eyes too. I didn't really care. I wasn't excited for this book. But so far, I'm loving it. I really, really am. Dan Slott is elevating the role of Kryptonite in the DC universe. Kryptonite is all over the place. It's become like a cryptocurrency, I guess. No pun intended there either. But then you've got, you've got art by Raphael Albuquerque, but you got somebody else on here. I don't know. I really like the art. I really like the story. In this issue, there is a new Man-Bat who can I guess when he bites people, they can become bats as well. So this is an issue about a Superman bat, and we've got Damien, we've got Big Barda, we've got the Birds of Prey. We got lots of interesting characters here fighting Superman bat, and I had a lot of fun with this issue, and I'm continuing to have a lot of fun. Then we got Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman issue number 24 by Tom King. Daniel Stamperi. The art's fine. Story sucks, man. I really don't like this new story of Wonder Woman. It's really taking the wind out of my inflated sense of enjoyment of this book. Like, it's okay, but Wonder Woman was really doing something unique and interesting last year. It made my top 20 books of the year last year for good reason. This new story about Mouse Man, too much repeated dialogue. This is something that I thought Tom King had gotten over, but now it rears its ugly head back here in issue number 24 of Wonder Woman. It's just so obnoxious. It's so annoying. It's almost like watching Rockin' Robbie live. Anyway, I hate this book. I really do. It makes me want to quit reading this book, but I know how much I enjoyed the first 20 issues of this book, and now I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? All right, we're going to jump over to Marvel, but before we do that, let's let Darcy say something.
Hello, Robbie, and anyone else that is watching this. It's Darcy Van Polgeest, and I just wanted to wish you the very best 10th anniversary for Pop Culture Philosophers. I've really enjoyed watching the show over the years, being a part of the show over the years. It's I don't know, it's been an honor for me, and just to have you and your supporters sort of embrace my work has just been something really special for me. But also, I think the very best part of the whole thing is just the sense of community that you have created. I think that, not to get too deep, but we're currently entering a time where community is going to be not just helpful, but essential. And that can come in many different forms. Pulp Culture Philosopher has certainly fostered that, a version of that for everyone involved. So you're doing fun work, you're doing great work, and in a way you're doing important work. So I think I speak on everyone's behalf when I just say thank you very much, and I'm really, really hoping to be sending you another one 10 years from now. All the best. Bye.
All right, let's continue on. We're going to dive into Marvel now. We got Black Cat issue number 1, a new Black Cat series. This time, it's no longer Jed MacKay on the book. Now, Jed MacKay did a really strong, solid run on Black Cat. It went through multiple series, so that's one of the best things about the mapping, I guess, of an absolute, or I guess Marvel doesn't do absolute editions. That's a DC thing. But like omnibuses, right? So I think there's a Jed MacKay Black Cat omnibus that I would recommend you check out, because I think Jed MacKay's run on Black Cat was absolutely fantastic. Now we got G. Willow Wilson on the book. And G. Willow Wilson has been doing a phenomenal job on Poison Ivy over at DC Comics. It's become one of my favorite ongoing superhero-ish comic books out there. And I was really excited for her Black Cat. I read issue number 1, and I was it's just kind of okay. Like, it's not that great. The artwork is by Gleb Melnikov, or whatever. The artwork is okay. It's fine. But I really honestly think we need a sexier artist on this book, and I think Gleb does sexy just fine. Like look at the shine on that ass. But I think that people that are reading a Black Cat book want something a little bit more. But we do got some sexiness in the book, so I'm not discounting that. But there's this moment, there's this bit throughout this issue where Felicia is breaking the fourth wall, not in a Daredevil type way, but she's literally narrating the story and looking at the camera and talking to us, the camera. And it just didn't quite work for me, right? But at the same time, I started thinking about it. The first issue of G. Willow Wilson's Poison Ivy didn't work for me either. And I really got into that book. So I'm going to stick with this one for a few issues because I think that Wilson is a really good writer. I think that Gleb is doing a solid enough job with the art. I would prefer a different artist on this book. I don't know. What do you, I'm curious to know what y'all think when you watch this video, when you read this book and you join into the comments. I know we're doing this live tonight. Or today, this morning. It's actually like 8:30 in the morning for me. So I'm really excited, though, to see what y'all think about this first issue after you read it, right? So I think it's just kind of okay. Then we got Marvel All on One, The Thing versus the Marvel Universe. This book was just stupid. It was just stupid. I did enjoy it for the most part. It's a super heavy issue. And I don't mean heavy with like as far as emotional content. What I mean is it's a big issue that's $8 long and it's all told in splash pages by Ed McGuinness, and Ed McGuinness doing The Thing. Never thought I needed that in my life, but I do. And it's not just Ed McGuinness doing The Thing, it's Ed McGuinness doing The Thing versus the Marvel Universe. Here's the basic premise of this story. Thing shows back up to Earth. Everybody's been replaced by robots that are all trying to kill the Thing. That's what's going on here. It's okay. It's not that great. It's kind of dumb. It's overpriced. It's overstuffed. I like Ed McGuinness's artwork, but to be honest with you, unless you're the most hardcore Thing fan, you might want to skip this one because it's kind of expensive. $8? Get the fuck out of here. $8, Marvel? You want $8 for this? Why? Because there was a Fantastic Four movie that released a month ago? Get the fuck out of here. Y'all look crazy. Then we got Venom, Black, White, and Blood, issue number 1. Another Black, White, and Blood anthology from Marvel Comics. So these are black and white stories with a little tinge of red. We've had several of these. Now we've got one involving Venom, and it was just kind of okay. It wasn't that great, honestly. We got David Michelini and Jonas Scharf doing a story. We got Ryan North and Kreese Lee doing a story. That was all right. J.M. DeMatteis and Dave Wachter do a story that is a little bit of a... it's not a sequel to Maximum Carnage, but it is something that takes place after Maximum Carnage, and that was my favorite story of the bunch. But for the most part, this was another book from Marvel this week that was just kind of okay. Didn't really work for me. Average, middle of the road. Then we got all new Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, issue number 1. What a fucking confusing title. Marvel, just do a fucking Spider-Gwen book and just keep the numbering. Like, who gives a shit? The same people that are buying this are the same people that bought the last series or the series before that, or hell, even the series before that. But you know what, Marvel? You ain't gonna listen to me. You ain't gonna listen to me, and that's okay because I know that you get bumps with new issue number 1s. Lots of variant covers. All of a sudden, somebody has once again saved their job over at Marvel Editorial by proving within the quarter that they were able to boost sales on Spider-Gwen with a bunch of multiple variant covers and a new issue number 1. Stephanie Phillips is the writer. She's been the writer. The story's okay. If you're plugged into Spider-Gwen, you'll love this. If you're not plugged into Spider-Gwen, this isn't a great introduction. This isn't a really great first issue. It didn't super work for me, but it wasn't boring. It was okay. So let's just give it the okay thing. Then we got the Imperial, issue number 3, from Jonathan Hickman. Excuse me while I vape. So, Jonathan Hickman doing Imperial. I'm loving this book. He's got a bunch of artists that he's working with. Iban Coelho, Federico Blee, Federico Vincentini. I am having so much fun with this. So, you know how, like, when Jonathan Hickman did Gods last year, it was supposed to be like, this is Jonathan Hickman reimagining the cosmology of the Marvel Universe. And yeah, there's a little bit there, but for the most part, even though that book was good, it didn't really have too many ramifications on the Marvel Universe proper. Well, this is billed as Jonathan Hickman doing Cosmic Marvel and taking the Cosmic Marvel characters and doing something different and setting new territory and new ground. And he's actually doing it this time, and it works, and it rocks. I love this issue. This is the issue where we actually find out who is behind everything going on in this Imperial story. There are assassinations being perpetrated, all kinds of things like that. And man, it rocks. I love it. Probably my favorite Marvel book this week. Imperial continues to be solid. Then we got the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 10. I guess it's okay. I'm overall enjoying Joe Kelly's run on Amazing Spider-Man right now. Here on the art, we've got Michael Dowling, and Michael does a great job, but we just have this whole story where Hellgate shows up and defeats Spider-Man, and since then, there's a new, more bastardy version of Peter Parker out there, and a new, more bastardy version of Spider-Man. It's easy to follow, but it is slightly confusing. I don't quite know what they're doing with this story. In the last issue, I felt like it was too much the same, like a previous story that Joe Kelly had done on Amazing Spider-Man in that whole 8 Deaths of Spider-Man story. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm really liking Joe Kelly's run on Amazing Spider-Man, but this issue was just kind of okay. And I'm already over this whole idea, this whole trope of like an evil, shitty version of Spider-Man or a Peter Parker who's like decided, screw everybody else. I need to stick up for myself. I don't know. Amazing Spider-Man was just okay. In fact, it wasn't even just okay. It was kind of whack, to be honest with you. All right, then we got Psylock issue number 10. I don't grab variant covers up. J. Scott Campbell's been doing all these variant covers, but let me tell you something. I am quite the fan of Psylock, and I realized this is the last issue, and first of all, a very satisfying conclusion of what's been a really solid run of Psylock. But this run has made me realize that I really do love Psylock. Now, I know I love Psylock because I was 10 years old when X-Men #1 by Jim Lee and Chris Claremont came out, and Psylock made me feel things that nobody has ever made me feel since, right? So I love me some Psylock, but I love the introspective nature of this story, and I love this entire series. I think Alyssa Wong, this might be the best comic I've ever read from her. And the art by Vincenzo Carotto, like, the art is absolutely amazing. If you like the artwork of Pepe Larraz, for instance, you should read Psylock. They're doing interesting things with the character. The art has always been great. It's super solid. And this is the final issue. Of course, Marvel can't let it just ride because Marvel's Marvel. And in fact, in like a month, they're doing another Age of Apocalypse type thing where they're replacing a bunch of books with alternate reality titles, whatever. That being said, I like J. Scott Campbell. I love Psylock. That's a great cover right there. I'm all here for it. He's got a bunch of covers this week. He's got a bunch of covers this month. But Psylock by J. Scott Campbell? Yes, please. The only artist who does Psylock better than J. Scott Campbell is Jim Lee. And there was, I don't know if y'all remember this, but there was a 90s swimsuit Psylock poster that was done by like Jim Lee, and it's Psylock in like a gold like bathing suit, and she's like coming out of the water or like throwing her hair back or something. Man, I really need that. Like, I really need that in my life. I'll put it in the boudoir, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, then we got Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe issue number 2. This book was whack. The first issue didn't really work for me. The second issue was worse. I did not like this book. I like that they're taking all these little one-shots and they're kind of putting them together and making this new story. I actually prefer Predator Kills the Marvel Universe over this one. Godzilla's a little bit too OP in this one for me, and I get it. I'm a Godzilla fan as well, but I don't know. I'm just not liking the structure of this book. I'm not liking the narrative of this book. I'm not liking how they're pacing it out. I just don't like this book. It sucks, in my opinion. Really does. All right, then we got Ultimate Black Panther, issue number 19. Another phenomenal issue of Brian Hill on Ultimate Black Panther. The artwork is done by Carlos Nieto. Artwork is great. Story is great. Some really solid stuff happening here. When this book first started, I did say it feels like just a regular Black Panther book. I expect more out of Brian Hill, and Brian Hill has delivered more because this book has definitely gone out of its way to differentiate itself from the typical 616 Black Panther lore and mythology, and it's doing its own thing, and it's doing interesting things, and I have a lot of fun with this book. A lot of people said it was a slow burn. You're right, but here at issue number 19, this is freaking awesome. If you're not reading Ultimate Black Panther, if you gave up on this book, you are truly missing out. This is one of Marvel's best books. All right. We are going to have, before we jump over to Image, we're going to have another creator jump in and say some nice things. But I produce my own show, even here live on the fly, so bear with me just a second.
Hello, Robbie, and anyone else that is watching this. It's Darcy Van Polgeest, and I just wanted to wish you the very best.
Hi there, I'm David Pepos, writer of Space Ghost, Captain Planet, and the new Speed Racer comic series coming out this week.
All right, honestly, I should have set all this stuff up beforehand. However, let's let David Pepos say some nice things about PCP. Hell, where did it go?
Hi there, I'm David Pepos, writer of Space Ghost, Captain Planet, and the new Speed Racer comic series coming out this week. And I just wanted to wish the Rockin' Robbie Billups a happy 10-year anniversary with Pop Culture Philosophers. For as long as I've been a comic book writer, Robbie has been a huge supporter of my work and many others. His enthusiasm is contagious. He's always been a relentless cheerleader of all things comics, covering books big and small. We are so grateful to have him being a big part of our industry, and just I'm so excited for you to be celebrating your big anniversary. So congratulations, and thanks to everyone watching.
All right, David, I appreciate the nice thoughts. Let me smoke some of my shit weed right here. Fuck, I'd be at work in 20 minutes. All right, let's move on. Image Comics. We got Escape issue number 1. This is a new book from Rick Remender and Daniel Acuna, and it's solid. It's okay. It's an interesting book. It's kind of like, it's a dog fight, no pun intended, involving dogs and cats. So they're anthropomorphic animals, and they're in a war. It's okay. Like, it was fine. I enjoyed it. I like the artwork a lot. I think Acuna does an amazing job with the artwork, but I think that the story, it's kind of average, right? Aside from the fact that the characters are dogs and cats and shit like that, it just doesn't really do anything to separate itself out and make itself seemingly unique, right? So Escape issue number 1 is okay, but I'm excited to come back and see what happens to this issue, or to this book, with issue number 2 and issue number 3. I like Remender a lot. We got another Remender book this week that I'll be talking about, but Escape number 1 was just kind of okay. Then we got Battle Beast issue number 4. Y'all know me. You know I love Battle Beast. It's ridiculously silly. It's stupidly funny. It is hilariously freaking awesome. I love this book. I love it so much. Battle Beast is a tiger dude who just wants to find somebody who will give him a valid fight and kill him, right? And there's this crazy thing about this other character that he partially ate, and this AI that runs this ship that he has accosted, for lack of a better term there. And man, I have so much freaking fun with this book. Now, Ryan Otley is the artist. The artwork here is a little bit lackluster. It's good, it's solid, but it's not as solid as the issues 1, 2, 3 and now we're into 4. I feel like issue number 4 feels a bit rushed, but it's got some solid artwork and a really cool freaking story. I'm having so much fun with this book. Battle Beast wants you to take off your thinking hat and just have fun reading a comic. And how dare we have fun reading comics? How dare we? But you know what? It's possible, and it happens with Battle Beast. Then we got Ghost Pepper, issue number 2. I really liked issue number 1 of this book. Kind of like a post-apocalyptic Mad Maxy type story involving a chef, a cook, a cooking show. We get a little bit beyond that here in issue number 2. We do a lot of explanation about who this character is. The main character, or I guess the main character is the chick, but the other dude... Well, I can't remember his name right now, but this dude who, I don't know. This issue's all right. I love the artwork. I like the story. I like the vibe with it. But like issue number 1 really kind of sold me. But issue number 2, I don't know. It was just okay. It was decent. It was fine, but it wasn't as good as issue number 1. So it was a little bit of a step down from issue number 1. But I am excited to see what happens in the future of Ghost Pepper. Then we got G.I. Joe. Did y'all know that I don't cover Real American Hero here on the channel? How dare I even cover this G.I. Joe Energon Universe book? But you know what? I'm doing it. By the way, G.I. Joe guy, it's been a minute. There you go. All right, G.I. Joe issue number 10 was awesome because you got CoverGirl and the Baroness fighting. You got lots of interesting things going on with Hound, the Transformer, and Clutch. But then we're diving back into Destro and setting some stuff up that's going to pay off in future issues. This issue was great. I think the Energon universe is spectacular, and G.I. Joe has been so much fun. Josh Williamson knows what he's doing here. We got Andrea Milana on the artwork. It's working for me. I'm enjoying it. I think G.I. Joe freaking rocks. Exquisite Corpses issue number 4. I liked this issue a lot. I've been enjoying this series. James Tynan, Michael Walsh, they got together with a bunch of other creators. They came up with this idea of Exquisite Corpses, where America is run by 13 families who headed the original 13 colonies, and every so often, every few years on Halloween, they pick a small town. They send everybody an assassin to represent their colony, to represent their organization, and they all fight it out in this small town. A lot of deaths happen, whether it's people that are actually part of this or people that are just innocent bystanders, right? So that's going on here, and they got a bunch of different artists and writers to work with them. Shay Grayson, Adam Gorham are working on this issue, and I've been critical of this book before for losing a little bit of consistency, but I did enjoy issue number 4. I enjoyed issue number 4 a lot. We get 2 more assassins kind of developed. I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with this book. I'm interested to know what y'all think. I think issue number 1 was great. Issue number 2 was okay. Issue number 3 was all right. But issue number 4 is kind of working. And I think at this point now, the whole concept behind the book, which is having multiple artists and writers kind of collaborate on the same thing, like have a writer's room, an artist's room, and kind of just tell a story with a bunch of cooks in the kitchen. It still has a cohesive narrative to it and works for me. I really do like it. All right, then we got Department of Truth, issue number 33. This is the final issue of this current story involving the Hat Man, which is a character that if you drink too much cough syrup, you get on Reddit, you'll see the Hat Man. It's about a woman who has lost a friend because of the Hat Man, who has decided to take matters into her own hand. And at the same time, we are building up something for the larger narrative and thread of story for Department of Truth. Now, we don't have Martin Simmons on the artwork, but we do have Letizia Kadonici, and I like the artwork. You could really compare her artwork or his artwork or their artwork. I don't know. You could compare their artwork to Werther Deladera, for instance, on Something is Killing the Children, but I really liked the conclusion to this story. But at the same time, I loved how this story wasn't just a meaningless afterthought. It's actually tied in to the ongoing story that's been developing issue by issue for Department of Truth. And This storyline actually has had less exposition and more just narrative flow, and it freaking works. All right. Then we've got Hyde Street issue number 8, a super solid issue of Hyde Street. The dude, I can't remember his name, but the dude with the X-ray glasses, he has pranked Pranky, right? And there's this whole bit in this book that I absolutely love, where they're taking those old school comic book ads where you could get X-ray glasses, you could get a life-size monster, you could get a life-size real nuclear submarine or something like that. They're taking that and really applying it into this book. Ivan Reis's artwork is amazing. The story is solid. So our main character pranks Pranky, the little kid in this world, by having him put on this werewolf mask that has now actually become a part of his face. They're trying to figure out how to get it off of his face. And man, I freaking love this book. We're diving deeper into Pranky's past, into the past of these characters, and also setting up the drama of what's going on in this world. Jeff Johns doing the horror comic through a superhero lens works for me. And guess what? It gets the smell of the week. It actually has this like weird smell to it that's super chemically that I just absolutely love. It smells like X-ray pages. I don't know, man. It's great. Then we got the seasons here with issue number 7. A solid issue of the seasons. Rick Remender. Oh, almost threw the book across the room. Rick Remender, Paul Azaceta. I love this book. I have so much fun with it. It's got this European sensibility to the artwork, but the story is working for me. There are these 4 sisters. They're all named after different seasons: spring, winter, summer, and autumn. And there's this carnival that's coming from town to town that takes over a town, and everybody gets lost in the mirror and all that shit. We're really building up the story here, and I think it freaking works amazing. Artwork is solid. Story is solid. I am loving the seasons. That does not change here with issue number 7. Why? Because these go to 7. All right. Then we got Gunslinger Spawn here with issue number 46. It's an okay issue of Gunslinger Spawn. Honestly, I'm kind of over this book right now. I really, really am. I like the character of Gunslinger Spawn. I think that Carlos Barberi is doing a solid job with the artwork. I think Todd McFarlane's doing an okay-ish job with the story, but for the most part, I've been bored. I've been unattached, and I have been distant from this book. And I like certain things, like the centerfoldy type thing. I think the story is cool. I think there's certain things about it that I do like, but overall, Gunslinger Spawn has become one of the weaker Spawn books that I read. And I read a lot of Spawn books. All right, before we get into some of the other indies, once again, I produce this show on my own, so bear with me just a second. Let's have another homie say something nice about PCP.
Hi there, I'm David Pepos, writer of Space Ghost, Captain Planet, and the new Speed Racer comic series coming out this week. And I just wanted to wish the Rockin' Robbie Billups a happy 10-year anniversary with Pop Culture Philosophers. For as long as I've been a comic book writer, Robbie has been a huge supporter of my work and many others. His enthusiasm is contagious.
Hi everyone. My name's Alex Packnadell. I'm calling in from rainy old England just to wish Pop Culture Philosophers a very happy 10th anniversary.
All right, sorry to interrupt Alex there, but so anyway, I should have set all this stuff up earlier when I realized last night that I wasn't going to do the weekly comic book review. I was going to do it live in the morning, but here we are live. I got to be at work in 8 minutes. I guess I'm not making it to work in time. Alex Packnadell, good friend of the show, and the first interview I ever did, the first conversation with a creator I ever did. Alex has some really cool things to say about PCP, and let's get to that. Then we'll finish up the weekly comic book review.
Hi everyone. My name's Alex Packnadell. I'm calling in from rainy old England just to wish Pop Culture Philosophers a very happy 10th anniversary. Here's to 10, 20, 30 more until the sun goes out. I've had numerous dealings with Robbie and the crew over the years. They've reviewed my books, they've interviewed me multiple times, and I've always had a great time. I will say this as well, every creator, would love to have a smooth run of glowing reviews. I've been quite lucky in that respect. But more than that and over and above that, the reviews that we really crave are the reviews that really engage with the source material. And I think the name Pop Culture Philosophers is a big indication of how they actually go about approaching the reviews and the interviews. It's a real deep, nuanced engagement with the material, and we couldn't really ask for more. It's an incredibly valuable comics and pop culture resource, and I hope it carries on for many, many, many years to come. Have a great time. Happy anniversary. Save some cake for me.
All right, Alex, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Love you guys. All right, moving on. We got Mad Cave with Eat Your Young, issue number 1. It's a new book from Brian Buccellato and Mattea Monaco. This book is okay. It's interesting enough. It kind of has a similar premise to the book Kill All Immortals, which is coming out with a volume 2 very soon from Zach Kaplan, I believe. Maybe I'm misremembering that. This is about a family of immortals. There's a bunch of immortals. I guess to explain what this book is about, let me just read. Centurions are an immortal race that exist in small clans governed by their alpha. But there's a catch. Centurions, by the way, Centurions, do you remember that cartoon and the toys where you could they had all the holes in them and you could put all these different things on them? There was Ray, who was the sea guy. There was Rockwell or whatever who the hell was the earth guy. And then you had Ace, who was the sky guy and the big villain. That's what I think of when I think of Centurions. Anyway, but there's the catch. Centurions are immortal as long as their alpha lives. Every 100 years, the entire clan loses immortality for a 27.5-day period called the Centurium, including the alpha. During that time, any offspring can become the alpha by killing their immortal parent and drinking his heart blood, but only one may claim the prize. And the newly coronated alpha becomes immortal and resets the clock for 100 years while their siblings lose their mortality forever. So it's kind of similar to Kill All Immortals, but a little bit different. And it was interesting enough. It didn't fully I don't think it fully baked all of its ideas. It was okay. It was interesting enough, but issue number 1 didn't really sell me. I thought it was just kind of okay. Also from Mad Cave Studios, we have Wild Animals, issue number 2, a new book from Ed Brisson, and the artist is Andy Kunn, and I'm loving this book. I thought the first issue was super solid. It's a revenge tale. It's about this dude whose father was killed by corrupt police when he was a kid, and during this, let's just say during this killing, he was hot oil was thrown on him. So he has these scars on him. He has a shit life. His mom just passed away. And now he's out for revenge. And that's what's going on. And this book is similar to so many other stories that I've read or that I've watched. Whether it's movies, whether it's comics, whether it's novels. This quest for vengeance is not something new. But Ed Brisson is actually putting something interesting and a different element to this that I really think works, and I think it works really solidly. I loved issue number 1. I really liked issue number 2. So there you go. Oh, I got to be at work at 3 minutes. Ain't gonna happen, y'all. Luckily, other people are there for me. All right, from Dynamite. You know we love Dynamite. We got Thundercats Lost, issue number 5. Another great issue from Ed Brisson, the same writer as Wild Animals, and David Costa on the artwork here, who I believe Dave is doing a fill-in issue. But this is an issue centered on Bengali, who was a Thundercat. In this book, Thundercats Lost, it's about another group of Thundercats who show up to Third Earth, and they are dealing with things that eventually come to fruition in the main Thundercats book by Declan Shalvey and Drew Moss. In the last issue of that, we had Bengali, who we thought died in the first issue of this book, come back, right? Also, while Shitara and Tigra are thinking about bumping some uglies. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was going to say something inappropriate, and I'm just going to skip it. Anyway, so that being said, this, with the surprising return of Bengali in the last issue of Thundercats proper, here in Thundercats Lost, we get a story about how he survived, what's going on, and it leads us into the newest issue of Thundercats, and at the same time kind of ties into the Apex story. Thundercats Lost has been a lot of fun. Then we got Darkwing Duck, issue number 5. Y'all, I'm loving this book. Do you like Darkwing Duck? If you like Darkwing Duck unapologetically, you'll love this book. It's absolutely amazing. Daniel Kibblesmith is the writer. The art is super solid. Who is the artist on this book? It is Carlo Laro and Andrea Izzo. Artwork is great. So this whole series so far has basically been like almost Darkwing year 1, right? And I love that this is still tied into the timeline, like in the 90s. So this issue in particular is about the rise of the internet. And Megavolt figures out how to weaponize the internet and goes into the internet, kind of like that internet demon in the first season of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Pardon me for a second. Which I really like, but it kind of reminds me of that. So Darkwing Duck and Megavolt go into the early days of the internet, and they have a battle. I love it. It's silly. It's fun. It's awesome. There you go. That book just fell off the table. All right. Moving on, we got Space Ghost Johnny Quest. Space Quest issue number 4. This is the conclusion of this crossover between Johnny Quest and Space Ghost, and I love it. I think it's great. Joe Casey is the writer here. He knows how to write a comic book story. He's been doing it for a long time. He's working with Sebastian Perez. The artwork is amazing. It's so clean. In fact, I think the artwork in this book has been better than Jonathan Lau's artwork on the Space Ghost book proper, which I'm loving the Space Ghost book. I think that David and Jonathan are doing an amazing job with that book. But there's something about this one that really works for me. Now, the first arc of Johnny Quest was great. Same team, same writer, same artist. The second volume is this crossover with Space Ghost. But you don't have to be reading Space Ghost to appreciate or understand all the nuances of this book. The art's great. The writing's great. It's just a super solid comic book story. Like, it's a superhero story, and it's awesome, and I'm loving it. This is the final issue. It ends in spectacular fashion, and I need Joe and Sebastian to be working on the next Johnny Quest book because they're killing it. They really, really are. Then we got Vampirella Armageddon, issue number 2, written by Tom Snigoski. I love Tom Snigoski. He's a super cool dude. He's a super cool writer. He's worked with Mike Mignola. He's probably the writer who has the most history with Vampirella as a character. And Vampirella Armageddon is Vampirella in hell, right? She gets sent to hell. And now that she's in hell, she's got to figure out what she wants to do there. There's a lot of Dune references in this book, but I have a lot of fun with it. I think it's good. And there's some nice collars on that cover. All right, from IDW, Event Horizon Dark Descent, issue number 1. It's written by Christian Ward with artwork by somebody. It's an interesting book. First of all, I love the movie Event Horizon. We covered it a few years ago for March Madness. The artist is Tristan Jones. I like the art for the most part. I think it's fine. At certain times, it kind of feels a little bit stiff, right? A little bit stagnant. It's kind of like a weaker version of, what's his name? Why am I forgetting his name right now? The guy behind the Bone Orchard mythos. Andrea Sorrentino. It's kind of got like a Sorrentino kind of vibe to it, but not as dynamic. So the art's okay. It works as a prequel to the movie. I love the movie. We covered it here on the channel. Type in Pop Culture Philosophers Event Horizon. You'll see the movie review. Check it out if you love the movie Event Horizon, because it was a lot of love for that movie. And this book was just kind of okay. It's fine. It's decent. It's not needed. It's not necessary. It doesn't really fill any holes or gaps. I should have been at work 2 minutes ago. It doesn't feel I don't know, it doesn't feel necessary, right? It's okay. It's decent. It's fine. But it doesn't fully get the job done for me. I'd rather just go watch Event Horizon, if that makes sense. All right, also from IDW, we have TMNT Journeys, issue number 1. So, back in the early 2000s, Peter Laird and Mirage Studios did a new Turtles book. It's technically, I guess, Turtles Volume 4, right? That's what this is. This book is a reprint of those issues, right? So they're doing, I think this is like a 15-issue series or something. I could be wrong about that. But they're reprinting those issues for all of us fans now, because there wasn't a lot of people reading these books back in the day. And I love it. First of all, we got a Kevin Eastman variant cover. Kevin Eastman is one of my favorite creators in this whole space, in this whole industry. I love this dude. But this is a book when Kevin had kind of divested himself of the Turtles. And we got Peter Laird and Jim Lawson working on this book. And y'all, I've never read this stuff. I'm a big fan of Eastman and Laird's Turtles books from back in the 80s and early 90s. And this freaking worked. I loved the artwork. I loved the use of screen tone. I loved the black and white. This was awesome. I really liked it. I thought it was super cool. The Turtles are older. Casey and April are together. They're an item, but they're like expecting a kid on the horizon. Like, this was awesome. So if you're a Turtles fan, if you've never been a part of this era of Turtles, or if it's hard for you to find these issues, they've never been collected, IDW is reprinting them. And I think that's pretty freaking cool. IDW is actually doing some solid work, including Mothra, Queen of the Monsters, issue number 5. That was a cover of the week contender right there. This is a super satisfying, awesome conclusion to this Mothra story. Sophie Campbell is doing the writing. Matt Frank is doing the artwork. The artwork is super freaking solid in this book. It's just Mothra versus this other kaiju. Crazy destruction. Great, gritty, textured, detailed artwork that's also dynamic and kinetic at the same time. Mothra slaps, y'all. This book is freaking awesome. Let's talk about Valiant. We got Tales of the Shadowman, issue number 1. Valiant trying to do a new world, a new concept, right? A new universe, if you will, right? And the Bloodshot one didn't work for me last week, and this Shadowman one works even less. I did not like this book. I do like the artwork. Sergio Monez is the artist, and I like the art for the most part, but the story is... I mean, this is supposed to be, yo, you never read Shadowman? Check out Shadowman. Read this book. And it, even though this is a whole new story, a whole new universe, like, it's just so muddy. It's so unclear. And it's so dependent on you already knowing this character and his world and the vibe of the story. It just did not work on any level whatsoever. Valiant, I don't know what the hell you're doing. But you ain't doing good comics. I'll say that. Because 2 for 2, it sucks. All right, then we got VR Troopers issue number 2. What a great, cool variant cover from Tom Scioli. By the way, Tom's got... Holy shit. I left it in the other room. We'll get to that. I'm going to have to do some bullshit. Anyway, VR Troopers issue number 2. Not as good as issue number 1. I've been definitely unplugged from the Boom Studios Power Rangers books, but they have brought in the VR Troopers, and I love the VR Troopers. I still have all the action figures, like the 3 main characters. I have those action figures. They're great. I love the VR Troopers and Beetleborgs and Power Rangers back in the day. I do feel like at age 43 or 44, I'm finally getting over Power Rangers and VR Troopers, but actually I liked this issue. I thought issue number 1 was good. Issue number 2, not as good as issue number 1, but still freaking solid. I still like it. I love that Tom Scioli cover. And finally, let's talk about the Umbrella Academy, issue number 2 of Plan B, book 4, the official book 4 of Umbrella Academy. Gabrielle Ba, Gerard Way. We got the Sparrows introduced. We find out more about them. We find out more about what's going on with our main characters of the Umbrella Academy, how they're dealing with things in the Hotel Oblivion. Y'all, I read this book and I loved it. I love every comic book I've ever read that Gerard Way was ever a part of. I really do. And I love Umbrella Academy as a show, but especially as a comic book. And as good as the show is, the comic book is where it's at. And this book was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. And it's sad that I'm talking about it last. All right, we're going to do a quick recap with the Ya Dig ratings. But before we do that, I got to go grab a graphic novel that I want to show off. And while we do that, y'all remember Bullseye Bob? I love Bob so much. Let's let him have the stage for a moment.
Hey there, comic fan. Bullseye Bob here. And I just wanted to stop by and make a video really quick and put out a heartfelt congratulations for Pop Culture Philosophers. It's their 10th year anniversary. What a milestone. This, of course, is your one-stop shop for all your pop culture needs. You can get comic reviews. You can get movie reviews. You have events like Horror Fest. You have the Rockin' Robbie Live that happens every Sunday where the PCP Army gathers and just kind of interacts while Robbie is giving us more reviews and taking us through comics in different time periods and giving us his top 5 and all that other good stuff always happens on Rockin' Robbie Live. But this channel just does so much. You can get weekly comic reviews, of course, by the man himself. There's a monthly comic review. I used to be a part of that. Now Robbie has kept the tradition going, and you can get the monthly comic review every month. And then, of course, there are interviews with not only comic book creators and writers, but also actors and comic book publishers. Really, there's so much that this channel offers. It's pretty incredible. And the amount of content that keeps coming out is consistent, and it just won't stop. I love it. And, of course, the crown jewel of Pop Culture Philosophers, the general, so to speak, Rockin' Robbie Billups. He is the man. And Robbie, I just want to say congratulations on this amazing milestone. You're an awesome dude. Consider you my homie. And I just love all the things that you do for the community. Guys, literally, Robbie is one of the best comic book reviewers out there. My 2 favorite are Sleepy Reader and Robbie, being able to come out with non-biased reviews, and sometimes that heartfelt passion comes out one way or the other. But also at the same time, the thing that I love about Robbie is that he is such a connoisseur and study of the medium. He really gets into being able to let you know about composition and tone and all these other different things that go into the makeup of the production of a comic book. And he really lets you know these things inside of the reviews. And that's kind of a cut above most of the other things that you're going to get from other channels. But literally, this is one of my favorite channels out there. I love being a part of the PCP Army. Of course, Rockin' Robbie Live happens every Sunday night. And this is kind of like the gathering spot for the soldiers in the PCP Army where we can interact with each other. And it's always inviting. It's always cool. You have the movie reviews, of course, with, always with Jelani and Brooks and whoever else that Robbie has on to help review those movies. I've been a part of that. One of my favorite times is we got to review Seven Samurai, which was absolutely amazing. And then, of course, Shogun Assassin. I really had fun with those guys on both of those reviews. But, literally, just about any type of movie, they'll get into it. They'll, debate about it, and they'll give you their heartfelt understanding and what they liked or didn't like about the movies. But comic books, movies, toys, you just name it, anything that you can think of when it comes to pop culture, this channel has it. But anyway, I just wanted to say, Robbie, you're an amazing dude. You're a good man. And I really, really appreciate the fact that you're my friend. But seriously, bro, 10 years, congratulations. It's well-deserved. I can't wait to see where you go next. Because I know you're not going to stop, and you're just going to keep that train rolling. So anyway, enjoy the celebration. just wanted to say thank you for all you do, my man. Peace out.
Man, I love Bob so much. Bob is great. And KG, you're right. Bob's got some great DD books on the shelf. He's also got the amazing Shaw Brothers fucking t-shirt that he's wearing. Bob got me into Kung Fu movies, Hong Kong cinema. And I cannot wait to do some more Hong Kong movies in 2026 for PCP Movie Night and have Bob join us. All right. I promised you a graphic novel that I wanted to talk about. Space Opera Xanadax from Tom Scioli. This is a $20 book that is totally worth it, especially if you're a fan of Tom Scioli. It's ridiculous. I haven't read it fully yet. If I did read it fully, it would probably make the pick of the week. But I am a fan of Tom Scioli. He's got a Jack Kirby type style to him, to his artwork that a lot of people may not resonate with. It may not resonate with for a lot of people, but for me, this is absolutely stellar work. And I'm really, really excited to dive into this book. There's a lot of pages, a lot of great art. Excuse me, I apologize. A lot of great art, really solid stuff. I'm showing you a bunch of silent pages. Fuck, I probably could have read this. There's not a lot of dialogue in this book. I probably could have read this. It might have been the pick of the week, to be honest with you. But there is dialogue, and I love it. So if you're a Tom Scioli fan, definitely check out Space Opera Xanadax. It's in shops today. If your shop doesn't have it, they can order it. Just tell them, yo, bullshit artist, go to Lunar right now and order me this book, Space Opera Xanadax. Across the unknown dimensions of the galaxy. I'm really excited to dive into that. Probably, maybe, do a video out like on its own for that. I think I should. It'd be great. It's a good use of the top-down camera rig that I have right there. All right. Your Ya Digs recap. We rate things out of 5. Out of 5 possible Ya Digs. Let's talk about it. Umbrella Academy, Plan B, issue number 2. Love this book. I'm going to give this 4 Ya Digs. VR Troopers, love that Tom Scioli cover. Love the story. Not as good as issue number 1. It's still solid, though. I'll give this 3.5. Shadowman, Tales of the... Sucks. It's not good. I'm going to give this 1.5. Mothra, Queen of the Monsters, issue number 5. The great conclusion, great cover, super solid book, great artwork. I'm going to give this 4.5 Ya Digs. TMNT, Journeys, issue number 1. It's a reprint of an old school book. I'll give it 4.5. It's a reprint, though, but it's great. It's a reprint of an era of Turtles that not a lot of people have access to, and I love that IDW is giving us access to that. Event Horizon Dark Descent is okay. 2.5 Ya Digs. There you go. 2.5. Vampirella Armageddon, 3 out of 5. Johnny Quest, Space Ghost, Space Quest, issue number 4, the final issue, 4.5. This is really just super solid superhero comics. Darkwing Duck, 4 out of 5 Ya Digs. Thundercats Lost, a 3.69, dudes. Wild Animals, issue number 2, 4 out of 5. Eat Your Young has some cool concepts, but it doesn't fully deliver. I'll give this a 2.68. Not quite a 69. Gunslinger Spawn is boring me. This gets 2 out of 5 Ya Digs. Seasons is great. 4 out of 5. Hyde Street, super solid. 4 out of 5. Department of Truth, 4 Ya Digs. Exquisite Corpses, hell, I'll give it 4 as well. Some solid comics this week, y'all. G.I. Joe gets a 4.5 because I'm having so much fun with that book. Ghost Pepper gets a 3. It's okay. It's decent. Battle Beast gets a 4. An enthusiastic 4.069. Ya Digs. All right. Escape number 1. It's okay. 3. I'll give it 3 out of 5. All right. We're at Marvel now. Ultimate Black Panther, 4. Godzilla destroys the Marvel Universe. 2. 2 ya digs out of 5. Psylock gets a 4. Pretty solid conclusion to a really solid book. Amazing Spider-Man gets 2.5. Imperial gets a 4. Spider-Gwen, the new one, the all-new Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider issue number 1 is killing the children. 2. 2 ya digs. Venom, Black, White, and Blood. 2.5, I guess. Marvel All-in-One, Thing versus the Marvel Universe. 2.5 ya digs. It's okay. Black Cat gets a 3. 3. We'll give Black Cat a 3. With room to grow. Wonder Woman. 1 ya dig. This book sucks. It's the worst book I read this week. 1 ya dig. All right, Superman Unlimited. 3.5. Krypto. 4. Nightwing. 4. New Gods. 4.5. Batman and Robin Year 1. 5 ya digs. Perfect score. Could have been a pick of the week. Detective Comics, 4.5. Justice League Red, 3. Absolute Flash, 4.5 ya digs. Best issue of this series yet. And the pick of the week, Absolute Batman issue number 11. And of course, it gets 5 ya digs. I love this book. I think it's absolutely amazing. That's what I read. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm digging. Look at that stack of comics right there. All right. Let's look at the comments real quick before we dip out of here. I'm 19 minutes late for work, but like someone in the chat said, who was it? Tom said, "You're the boss. You can show up late." You're right. All right, let's look at the comments. Oh, we got 155 people in here. That's awesome. Y'all rock. How many likes do we got? 102. Come on, y'all. Hit that like button right now. We got to at least hit 150 before I leave. All right, Sherb says, why is this live 9 hours from now? Sherb, just the way it worked. Sherb, thank you so much. Ryan is here. We got KO. GTK Comics. Mr. Spock saying, having withdrawals right now. Usually come home after work and watch this with a beer. Well, drink a beer now. It's only 9:20. Like, it's not that big of a deal to drink beer in the morning. I'm not drinking beer, though. I'm drinking this black cherry sparkling water is what I'm drinking. All right, Bernginley 3 TV is here. What's up, man? How you doing? Eddie is here. Tom, what's up, man? D is here. D who? Excuse me. I haven't even eaten anything yet. Why am I acting like this? Excuse me. Canadian, what's up? Andy, what's up? Robert, what's up? Cancelaria, what's up? Dustin, how you doing? I am alive, very much so. Pete, both Pete's, how you doing? Albert, how you doing? TMX, what's up? This AI Robbie. What's up, Luis? Luis, how you doing? Chile? Holy shit, that's awesome. Home of one of my favorite wrestlers, Stephanie Vaquer. So there you go. What's up, James? What's up, Flash? What's up, Stu, Dr. Doom's fan club? Stu is also nominated. By the way, I'm nominated for 3 CBC awards. If you want to go vote for them, that's totally fine. We're nominated for Best Comic Book Review. We're nominated for Best Live Stream for Rockin' Robbie Live. And we're nominated for the Hall of Fame. So y'all should definitely check that out. Also, we're in the midst of Horror Fest. Dylan just covered Weapons last night. Blood Splatter Chatter is talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Thursday night. And on Thursday night, before that show, I got a conversation with Paulina Ganichow. As well as on Friday, I got a conversation with Declan Shalvey and Rory McConneville. We're going to be talking about Thundercats, Terminator, all that shit. Patrick says, did I miss Robbie talking trash about Sticky Goose? No, you didn't. You didn't, because I didn't even, you're the first person to mention Sticky. Amir, what's up? Cincy, what's up? Yeah, I would love to be on a Wetworks team with Power Girl as well. Best tits in comics. Yeah, Flash, you're right about that. Yeah, you can tell Sticky doesn't know who I am. Not really. He knows who I am, but he doesn't really know who we are. What's up, Chocos? Where we at on likes? 116? 162 of y'all are watching right now. Come on, y'all. Like the video. Like it right now, man. I want to cop one of those cereal box covers for Hyde Street. Wish me luck. Dude, wish me luck. I would love those. I want the actual cereal myself. What's up, 62? How you doing? Ouroboros, how you doing? Dr. Doom's fan club. This is my buddy Stu says, year one is Batman and Robin year one. It's one of the best books of 2025 for me. Samney and Lopez doing some career best work type art. I agree. So does 62. I wonder if Exquisite Corpses got better after a little lull. D? I think it did. 00711. How you doing? Why? Because these to go to 00711. I look super sweaty. It's literally just the lotion I put on my face this morning. I lotion every day. Cincy says, as much as I love the DC Absolute books, I think they are, for the most part, taking the wind out of the normal DC titles. Okay. J Records says, DC is a bit boring. KG is excited about Superman back. Kenneth is here. Garfwong is here. Is that Lorena? What's up? How you doing? Flash by Night says, the Peach Momoko storm cover sucked me in. I wish I had the clip of Herm going, Peach Momoko. Flip Nest is here. What's up, homie? KG says, really digging the unexpurgated Rockin' Robbie live. What is the fuck is that word? I don't have no idea what that word means. Flash says, Ultimate Black Panther love. Take that. Cosmic One, what's up? I am the... Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Brian from LCS. Brian LCS is here. Founder and continuer of the CBC Awards, which we are nominated for 3. Go vote for us. Best comic book review. Best live stream. And Hall of Fame. It's been a lot of drama this week. Not drama I started, but drama I will finish. Who else we got here? KG, what's up? It is Wednesday. Pete says, I really like Exquisite Corpses. Great idea and good pacing too. Meyer HQ says, this live stream is like 10 times better quality than your last one. Enjoying this a lot. Thank you. I was a little drunk on the last one. I'm not drunk here. James, what's up, homie? I hope to see you at the shop tonight. I wonder if Sacrificers will be coming back at some point. I really like that one. Sacrificers is amazing. It is really good. And James, it is coming back. It's so good. Our Ariaga says Spawn has been losing momentum. I agree. Daniel, what's up? How you doing? King Spawn feels like it might make a comeback with the last couple issues. I agree with that. Oh my God. Tez Catalaponcho. Bro, it's 6 a.m. in Cali right now. Well, thank you for watching me at 6 o'clock in the fucking morning. Nigel Lindsay, what's up? How you doing? Ouroboros calls me the GOAT. That's great. Hey, Immortal Biggie Shack is here. What's up, Biggie? How you doing? Love you, man. Hope to see you. Also, Christina Payne. Go nominate, or she's already been nominated. Go vote for Christina Payne at the CBC Awards. Christina Payne has a locally, somebody is selling a giant sign that says station. Y'all, super chat. Super chat. Let's get that station sign here. It belongs here. It belongs right up there, doesn't it? That should just be a big, long thing that says station. So super chat if you want that to happen. Christina, what's up? Love you. Have a good time. Ronnie, how you doing? Oh, yeah, the Centurions. Ace McCloud. That was his name. Hell yeah. What's up, Sean? Christina says, Drew Moss is doing a Heart for My Comic Family Heart Project for comics curing cancer. If you want to own a 101, come by and check out C3. Oh, Mark from the UK is here. Tom, how you doing? Phil? KG? Jay, what's up, homie? Best reviews on YouTube. Well, thank you so much. Go vote for me. Phil's Treehouse is here. A lot of Phils in the house. Put the lotion in the basket. What state? I'm in Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama. All right. That's the show. Super long. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you following. Yeah, y'all want me to address the sticky thing? I won't. Who gives a shit? Like, honestly, I addressed it in the chat or in the comments. Go look at the comments, whatever. Biggie, I love you. I appreciate you being here. Nerdy Geek, what's up? Y'all are the best. I'm not the GOAT. You are. So there you go. Anyway, I'm Rockin' Robbie Bills. That's what I read. That's what I thought. That's what I'm digging. What are you reading? What are you digging? What are you thinking? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're watching this on the replay, definitely check out Xanadax from Tom Scioli this week. Absolute Batman. Absolutely slaps. It's amazing. Super cool. Love you guys. Station. Keep on reading. Pop, pop. Boo.